I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. This week, we've got teams who went in opposite directions last week. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Antonio Marshalls. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. There he goes left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. First down, Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So 3rd down, just 1 yard to go. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And here's a look at the defensive unit that hopes to halt this offense today. Mariota to throw it this time. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Mariota now. On the left side, this is Stills. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the 1st down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Now this time he'll look to throw. Can't find anyone open. His throw caught at about the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line now. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And his guys have taken the lead. Not a bad start for him. 2 drives for the offense, 2 rushing TDs.
Almost like he's in the percussion section in the band, isn't it? Got a little oomph, right? Got a little crash, got a little bang. He's got it all as he gets to the end zone. 2nd rushing touchdown, as you noted, on 2 drives. He's off to a terrific start.
Okay, you ready? Wait for it. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Toward the sideline, And look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
To throw now on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big fella. It's going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
What's often perceived as a weakness of a 3-4 defense is the defensive line and their ability to stop a run game. But if you have a massive nose tackle or a nose guard who can sit in the middle and eat up double teams, that allows other guys to get to the ball much quicker. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Pulled in at the 24. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
For that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it, but was not in bounds, incomplete. The Seahawks send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now the offense heading back out there. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. Well, in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And the back goes into motion. On 2nd down, Mariota again. Finding time. He sets the fire deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he finds Stills, complete. And they get 14 yards there at a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Brad Wing now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Still going. Now he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. First down. He'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it's good enough for a Seattle first. They'll set up a throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And he pushed it right. It's no good. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now this offense ready to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. shift together here from the D-line. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Play fake. Mariota. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. On the left side, this is Stills. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Mariota again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 3rd and long here for Mariota. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the 3rd quarter. Let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. I heard so much about the offense Marcus Mariota ran while he was at Oregon, about how people were just wide open, how he couldn't fail to hit them. But I always said the same thing. He sure as heck didn't miss them very often. Very accurate, even on short throws.
Yeah, he can go short, he can go deep, obviously, but he's really good with that short passing game.
Good dart thrower, very accurate. Receivers love him.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight hard.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They go play action here on first down. He's got time. Forced out to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
And on the ground they go with the running back. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Hawker's kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And it's up and good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll look to throw, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
He'll drop to throw, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
It'll go as a gain of 12, and that'll be good enough for the first.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's a pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing middle, and it's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Back now in San Antonio. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And Hawker's kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And it's tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll come out throwing here, and he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And Hawker's kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Third down now following the run. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That'll make it. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 11. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And quickly, they get to the line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And now it's fourth down. They're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They come out here in the eye. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 3rd down and 12. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that takes us from second to third down.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot of credit.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. Mariota with a knee to the ground, and that should be in. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the home team here, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, things are definitely going south quickly as they